Guys, you know I'm super stoked today, right? Uh-huh. Because guess what? I figured out how to use this darn camera. I figured out how to use this darn phone. Oh, man, I'll wait for some of you guys to come on. I know I catch you off guard with the times. Let's get it the following. There we go. Oh, let's just take a nice little walk around the yard, look around while you guys get all set up, get yourself situated. Hi, my name is Chuck the Sandman Collins, and welcome to Together We Grow Sustainable Gardening Systems, solutions, if you will. Solar powered traditional gardens, but that doesn't make any sense. All traditional gardens are solar powered. But solar powered sustainable gardening as well as traditional gardening applications. Um, I totally appreciate everyone who's tuning in now and everyone who's tuned in over the last couple of days to help me get prepared for the upcoming Upflip special. As always, while we're doing our rehearsals, while we're doing our practice, man, I already got two of you here. Hi, guys. How's it going? The first one who logged in, the very first one who logged in, could you do me a quick Could you do a quick favor, please? Could you please email me or inbox me or message me your address, your name and your address, and we are going to send you, hey, get over here, camera. Get over here, camera. There you go. We are going to send you some cool Together We Grow merch. So this week, we're going to be dealing with the coffee cups and the coffee mugs. So, guys, if you don't already, all of these designs printed in-house, designed in-house by my amazing wife, Rosie, and our incredible daughter, Charlie. We do all of our printing, we do all of our manufacturing, we do all of our designs, all in-house. So I'll be talking about that during the Upflip special as well, because the whole point of the Upflip special is, guess what, guys? How to get you to make some money. So I want to make money too. You guys want to make money? Yeah? Okay, I want to make money too. So when it comes to this gardening stuff, it's not just the gardens that you're doing. And we talked about that a little bit on the Upflip, on the last documentary, the last special that they did with me. It's about you. It's about you getting out there, and I'm going to say the C word again, guys. Sorry, here comes the C word, community. You got to get out there. You got to get to talking to your neighbors. You have to know your fellow gardeners, know your fellow growers. You have to get out there because none of this is going to work if you don't do these fundamental steps. These are things that you can do before we even record the next video. Now, if you guys haven't already done so, please hit like, please hit subscribe so that you are made aware every time something like this happens. I'm going to be doing a lot more lives for you guys that have been hanging with me for the last few days. From the bottom of my heart, thank you so much because you guys are making it so much easier. And for those who are just clicking in, if you get a chance, message some of the people who have been here for the last few days. This is a lot smoother than what it was because of folks like you. The camera is now in landscape because of folks like you. I'm actually being smart and I'm actually using, you guessed it, my lavalier, my lapel mic. And because of folks like you, I know exactly what I'm going to be talking about during that Upflip special. So if you guys looked at the description, all right, I said in the description while we're setting up for today's gardens, which we're going to start doing in a minute, because literally we're just going to be working. We're just going to be talking while we work. If you guys want to send me messages, if you have any questions, feel free to post them. I am going to be trying to pay more attention to the screen. So you'll see me walking up and doing stuff like this. And obviously I still don't know what I'm doing because I don't know where the talkie thing is yet. Is that it? Live, there we go. Live chat, all messages visible. Okay, there we go. So if you guys want to live chat while we're doing this, please feel free. I'm getting a lot more comfortable doing this. I'm not at all nervous about the Upflip special. I just want to make sure that, because like I told you guys before, we had sort of a monkey wrench thrown into our plan. The idea was by this time to have all of our sustainable gardening systems, and we have 8 different systems. They have them readily available for the public. But with the disruption in the supply chain around the world that I know you guys are all aware of with the tariffs and stuff, our basic supplies, our supply sources, the prices went up astronomically. So it's not even feasible for me to build these systems and then have them already set up and set up for you guys because it defeats the price point now. It's not even affordable for you guys to buy them now. So I had to sit there and think to myself, I said, okay, either you can, I'm talking to you guys from the heart, either I could try to price gouge amazing folks out there, or I could do the decent thing. Go back to the drawing board, figure out how to make it so that they can build these systems at home. They can basically try to grab stuff from around the house. Once again, that C word again, go to community, talk to your neighbors, pool your money together so that you can buy in bulk some of these resources, some of these supplies. So guys, hold on for 1 second. I'm going to go get the water hose because we actually got to water this garden. We're actually going to water that one. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up. I'm just going to grab the water hose real quick. Give me a second and I'll be right back. That's the other joy of having a lapel mic. I can talk to you guys while I'm over here. Freedom, freedom, freedom. So what are you guys doing on this beautiful Sunday besides hanging out with yours truly? I know my folks back north, hopefully you're done with this snow stuff. And my prayers go out to those who are affected with that inclement weather. Man, that's just in the Midwest in the United States, that was just, we've been going through sort of a tough time here. So anyone who's been affected with that weather, I hope all is well with you and yours and your families. And, you know, that was part of the reason why I actually started designing the systems. Because I would have these think sessions with my family, and I tell you guys this all the time. All of these systems mostly were designed because of conversations that I had with my family. And before we design an original system, we'll always try to figure out, is there a want or is there a need for this system design? And a tunnel design system that I'm going to show you guys, it's a system, it's one of the systems where you can get about 95% of the materials for it from a box store. And I light it up from a box store like Lowe's. When I show you this stuff right now, some of you, if you have it, if you have the resources, you're probably going to run out to Lowe's and get it right now. And if you do, that would be awesome. That would be super dope because this is actually a practice for what we're going to be doing this next Thursday on the Uplift Network. So you guys haven't already done so. The Uplift Network is an amazing resource for how-to, for business know-how, just a great teaching and education center, educational resource center. Check them out at the Uplift Network on YouTube. They're always putting up new content. Their format is amazing. And a lot of you that are watching this now or that may be tuning in actually learned about what we're doing at Together We Grow from Uplift. So to all of my folks at Uplift, peace and blessings, man. I can't wait till this Thursday until we get things done. This is pretty much done right about here, guys. You see, folks asked me, and this is a good question, why do you water using a top watering system like this with a water hose? Why not use a soaker? Which, honestly, guys, would be smarter. It would be smarter. Or a sprinkler emitter, keeping everything lower to the base of the plants, which would also be smarter. So you got to ask yourselves, why am I doing it this way? Well, that's easy, guys. Exercise. This is how I get my steps in. This is how I get my steps in. It's no excuse. It's no excuse not to get my steps in. I'm in my mid-50s. Come on, man. I got to get out there. I got to get 4,000 to 8,000, whatever it is, steps a day. It's more than that. Whatever many steps in a day it is, I have to get those in because I'm not promised tomorrow. And especially at my age, you kind of gotta keep it at work. So, I hope you guys are having fun so far. You may notice, take a look at the Navajo Grow Bed number 1, and it is called Navajo Grow Bed number 1 and Navajo Grow Bed number 2 because these raised grow beds were donated to us by the Navajo Nation. And I can't reiterate and I can't express enough how much we love and we appreciate them doing that for us. You guys said, what? Yeah, you are. Oh, come on, man. Yeah, hang out. And how much we appreciate them doing that for us. They were in a little bad condition, but with a little love and some TLC, we got them up and going, and now they are back to producing. For you guys that were with me yesterday, thanks for hanging out. I don't know if you remember, but I actually took a tomato plant, I believe it was yesterday or the day before, and we took a tomato plant that was started traditionally in soil, and I showed you guys how to rinse off the roots and how to transplant it to our hydroponics tray system. So what I want to do today is I want to show you guys that tomato plant, and I want to show you guys how fast things rebound in a happy and stable hydroponic sustainable gardening system. While we're over there, if I remember to, we're also going to take a few minutes and we are also going to feed the system. I'm going to show you exactly what it eats. And we're going to look at some of the numbers on the system, some of the stat numbers on the system, our pH, the temperature, and something else. I forgot what it is. But things that we monitor in the system and why we monitor them. So that's about set right there. So let me set this right here. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me go turn this garden hose off. Hi, Newton. How you doing, little buddy? Sit. Want to get on camera? Come here. Come here, Baba. Hi, sweetie. Hi, sweetie. Hi. Hi, Baba. Come here. Hey, guys, this is Newton. Newton, you want to say hi to everybody? Newton is my little homie. It's Newton and Einstein. They are my garden buddies. You'll see them pop up in the cameras behind me once in a while. There is no life without Newton and Einstein. They absolutely have the worst names ever. They are not brilliant scientists. You hear Einstein yelling at me? I totally believe dogs can understand us. Like, I really understand that dogs can understand us. So watch what you say around dogs, man. If you mess up, if they came back in the next life as you. What is it? You want up, Einstein? What is it, baby? What is it, Baba? You okay? There you go. Do you guys have pets? If you do, what do you have? Do you have dogs? Do you have cats? If you do you let them hang out with you when you do your gardening? They are absolutely specialists when it comes to getting in the way, when it comes to anything gardening. But I absolutely love them, and I can't imagine doing this without them. So we got our watering out the way. Let's come over here. Let's grab our gloves. We're going to pick up right where we left off yesterday. Let's draw our camera in a little bit. Let's see. There we go. How's it going, guys? Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out. I really appreciate you taking time. I know you got better things to do on this fabulous and glorious Saturday. So what we're going to do is we got our claw gloves back on. And what we want to do, we want to get some digging done. And again, just like yesterday, just get in there and just turn over that topsoil. Oh man, it's a lot easier right now because I just gave it a good watering. Look at that, guys. Ooh, if you know your soil, and I'm telling you, man, that's the experienced gardeners, they get online and they look at this and they're like, man, listen, that's some rich looking soil you got looking right there. And I'm like, yeah, buddy. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. You can tell if your soil's good by the brightness of the leaves and the fruit that you are growing in your garden. I do want to remind you guys of one thing. When you are growing peppers, all right, you got to find a middle ground when it comes to watering, because if you're growing peppers and tomatoes in the same grow bed, when you're planting tomatoes, you want to go super deep with that initial initial stem. So you pluck off those beginning leaves. You want to go as deep with that tomato plant as you possibly can, because tomatoes love deep watering. Remember that tomatoes love deep watering. Peppers, on the other hand, folks don't notice, shallow watering plant. They actually don't like to go super deep. You don't pluck leaves off. You don't go super deep when you plant them. I mean, you can. I've experimented. I didn't really see much of a noticeable difference because I just didn't see much of a noticeable difference. I'm not going to keep on explaining and just talk myself into a circle. But when it comes to that, remember, when you're planting and when you're watering, you want to time it so that you're not overwatering your pepper plants. And that's key right there. So in my system, unless I'm making videos for you amazing folks, maybe every 2 or 3 days, more often now, because as I explained to you guys yesterday, we're going into a heat wave starting tomorrow. So I do want to keep these guys, the M word, I do want to keep them moist. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to take these gloves off. I'm going to grab the camera, and I really want you guys to see the intense brightness of these plants. So give me a second. Let's stop the gimbal. There we go. Stick with me. Now let's look at, there we go. Let's look at some plants. There we go. There we go. Like I said, you can tell by that soil, by the brightness of the plants, the petals, the leaves, how healthy the plants are. Look at the celery in the corner right there. How good does that look? I mean, granted, I just got dirt on the lettuce over here, but look at the brightness, the intense brightness in these heads of lettuce. Look at that. How insane is that? How insane is that? But this also tends to the other lesson I was telling you. This is a new pepper that we put over there. And if you see, that guy's got pale leaves on the top because it's getting a little too much moisture, a little too much water when I'm doing the over-the-top spray watering. So I'm going to have to figure out a middle ground with that. But here's a really good spot right here. You got lettuce, marigold, lettuce, tomato, celery. So when this grows out, just imagine this, guys. Imagine how this is going to look. The celery is going to be about this tall, but the tomato, which these will have, I'm going to show you guys how we'll have the tomato plants strung up. They're not going to be all bushed out like that. Our tomato plants are going to be single vines coming up and then tied up to the top. I'll show you guys how to do that a little bit later on in the season, but it'll be the celery coming up just like this. Just visualize it. Celery popping out like this. You'll have the tomato vine coming up like this with beautiful tomatoes just dripping down like that. Lettuce covered underneath. Pepper plant, nope, I'm sorry, guys. Basil plant right next to it. So just in this little area right here, you just pluck, you got celery, you got tomatoes, you got lettuce, you got basil, you got onions. You got a salad, baby. Throw some marigold petals on top of it for that extra pop of color, and man, you are good to go. Guys still with me? I hope so. Let's get this back over here real quick. Now I'm going to get this back on a tripod, and today we're going to see if Chuck can do it without dropping it, because when you drop it, that's how your mic goes out. Yeah, these are all lessons learned in the last couple of days. A lot of you guys actually witnessed these lessons. There we go. So if given a choice, if you had to pick, oh, see, almost did it again. Given a choice, if you had to grow one way sustainably, what would it be? Would it be aquaponics? Would it be hydroponics? Or would it be aeroponics? What would you guys decide? Now, mind you, with aquaponics, sure, you can grow, and you can grow so that you're harvesting the fish. You can do that, but you don't have to. You can grow ornamental fish with aquaponics. And if you have traditional gardens in your yard as well, every 3 weeks or so, you have an incredible amount of fish emulsion. To simplify that, every 3 weeks or so, you want to remove about a third of the water out of that tank, out of your fish tank, your main reservoir where your fish reside. You want to get it from the bottom of that water if at all possible. You want to get it from the bottom where the fish muck, where the old fish poop that didn't go through the system probably just settled down. You get that out. You mix that 4 parts water, 1 part fish emulsion. You give it a shake. 1 part fish waste, 4 parts water. You give that stuff a shake in a gallon jug, and you've got some of the greatest fish plant fertilizer that you could get at any market. I lie to you not. I know this because we do this and we use this application on various aquaponic systems that I built all over the world, because a lot of folks already have fish in their house. They already have goldfish, and they didn't know this. So our whole thing with living in the desert was we want you to be able to grow and repurpose some of the stuff that you might have been wasting before. That fish wastewater from your fish tank, that is incredibly useful when it comes to your garden. And I really simplified it when I told you how to break it down. But when you give it that little mix, you give it that shake, let it sit for a couple of days. All right, let it sit, and then watch how your plants respond to it. Your tomatoes will thrive. They will go through the roof. Same thing with peppers. Same thing with any rooted vegetable like this. Before you guys ask, will we be doing something like that in our systems? Because our systems are basically test systems. They're experiments. Everything that you see at Together We Grow is an experiment. We want to try to do it to see if you can do it. Because if we can figure out all of the intricacies, all of the ups and downs, then we can make it a little bit easier for you and a lot more enjoyable and a lot less stressful. If you guys are just tuning in, my name's Chuck Collins. Welcome to Together We Grow Sustainable Gardening Systems. I really do have to keep it moving because I haven't even fed the birds yet. So guys, give me a second. I am going to go get the bird seed. I'll leave the camera sitting right here so you can enjoy this beautiful view. The first feeder we're going to be filling up right there is the primary feeder for all of our just all around generalized birds. No specialty seed going in there, just generalized bird seed. Right back. Stop following me, camera. So I'm in my kitchen, guys. And again, I gotta tell you, it is kind of super dope how with the lapel mic, we can keep the show going. And I want to thank all of you amazing folks who chimed in yesterday and were nice enough to give me all of the awesome advice. Boop, we're back. Let's keep it smooth. All of the awesome advice, the tips, the encouragement, mostly the encouragement, because I got to tell you guys something, man. I love this about you guys. Absolutely every single one of you want to see me do well. And that stuff brings me to tears because I absolutely want to see you thrive as well. And like I said, with the mess ups, the intricacies in our supply chain and stuff going on, although our set systems aren't available, and they'll be available as soon as possible. Although they're not available, I can't let that be a reason for you guys not to be able to benefit from the science and from the technology that we've been working on. So we're going to try to make it so that you can basically go to these box stores, get this stuff yourselves. You don't need me to hand you a fish. You don't. I want to show you the basics of how a fishing pole works, and then I want you to go out there and build the best damn fishing pole ever. That's what I want you to do. And then I want you to come back and show me what that thing can do. And then I'm going to be amazed, and I'm going to be impressed, and I'm going to be proud of you because you did that. So, again, with our bird feeder, it's a generalized one. This is plastic. We didn't go with glass because wind does tend to pick up, and this has been pretty sturdy. This has been with us for like 3 or 4 years now. A tip when it comes to these bird feeders. You guys see this right here? It's a little, I forgot what it is, but the little clamp. Squirrels be squirreling, man, and chipmunks be a chipmunking. But this little clamp, if you put it on that bottom wire right there, that's not going anywhere, and the top isn't going to move. We've seen them try it. We've seen them get frustrated. So to me, I mean, because we've actually lost a bunch of feeders because squirrels, they get up there. Squirrels are very smart. They know how to knock the stuff out of the feeder. They know how to knock the feeders down. So once they learn it, they're not going to unlearn it. So you got to work with them. And what I'm not going to do, and I highly discourage anyone from doing that. Guys, these aren't pests. Squirrels, chipmunks, things of that nature, they're not pests. Ground squirrels, this is kangaroo rats, this is their home. This is their home. I plead with you from the bottom of my heart, especially if you live in the Southwest, do not lay down powders, liquids, or anything in poison form to so-called take care of this pest problem. They're not the problem. And don't be poisoning wilderness. Don't be poisoning wildlife. Be better. There's always a solution. There's always a better solution. And that's all I'm going to say, guys. And I understand, oh, they eat my tomatoes. Well, tough. Grow more tomatoes. Grow more tomatoes. That's a living thing, man. And that's just me, guys. That's just me. I don't know. That's just me. And I have, oh my gosh, if you guys go through some of my super old videos, when I had the chickens, we lost entire gardens to the chickens. And that's when I realized I had to accept the simple fact that animals just be animaling. There's nothing you can do about it. You're going to be mad at them. You're going to be mad at them. Chickens love vegetables. There's a whole house full of vegetables right there. Did you not think the chickens were going to find it? So you can't be mad at them. You can't be mad at them. But that does bring me to my next issue. Well, Chuck, how do you deal with pests when it comes to sustainable gardening? I don't, because very rarely do they ever have any pests. Same thing with raised bed gardening. We discussed a little bit yesterday, some of the primary pests or things that you don't want in your gardens. You don't want beetles and you don't want nematodes. That's why we have marigolds. Beetles, and nematodes hate marigolds. And just to reiterate, marigolds are also medicinal. They can be used to treat skin irritation. They can be used to treat acne. They can be made into a cream or into an oil form. Marigolds are also edible. They can be plucked right off the flower. They can be, holy shit, I'm sorry. I'm gonna make me a salad. I left marigolds off. No, I didn't. When I made my little salad list, marigolds are definitely going on a salad list. Pardon. And that's very rude of me. I hate chewing in people's ears. I apologize for that. But someone had asked me yesterday, said, do you actually eat the, I'm not sure if they were talking about the marigolds or were they talking about, do I actually eat the stuff that I grow? And the answer is absolutely. I don't try to replace everything that I can get from the grocery store because you'd be working all day. You'd be tending to gardens and farms all day. There are times where I can't get out here. So what I do and what my systems are basically built for, they're supplemental systems. They're to fill a need, a niche that you may not have at your house. I want you to imagine, if we have anyone from overseas, and I already know we do, but imagine if you're to a new country and there are localized vegetables, quick growing crops that you don't have access to, specialized things from your area. Well, in one of our 7 port systems, you can bring a little bit of home to your house. And here's how we always visualized it. Where I come from, I came from the projects. We didn't have much of anything. You guys know my backstory, and a lot of you guys share that same backstory. So this isn't a woe is me thing. This is just me giving you the fabulous backdrop. So I came from the projects. And in the projects, when you walk up a flight of steps, there's a flight of steps, there's the landing. There's sun that hits the landing for the most part of the day. And there's a door here. So you walk up the landing, there's a door here, a door here, a door here. For the most part, 3 doors or 4 doors. In front of all of those doors, there's a railing. Because remember, there's the steps you go up. There's a railing. What I always visualize is, what if you could have, I told you guys we were going to talk the tunnel system. What if you could have a system hanging from each one of those railings? And in each one of those railings, you're growing 7 plants specific to the area or to the country of your origin. So imagine if you had 4 people from 4 different countries growing 7 different plants. That's 28 plants in one landing. And that's 28 plants that truly show diversity across the planet because there are 4 different regions growing 7 different plants. Imagine if those folks, many of which probably don't even speak the same language, imagine if once a week they got together and they had a potluck. Just imagine it. Sharing knowledge, sharing language, sharing culture. Follow me, little pony. There you go. Sharing knowledge, sharing language, sharing culture, all underneath what? All underneath the guise of food. Food brings people together. Gardening brings people together. Man, for you guys that don't know, I am located in Zone 9B. In the beautiful city of Tucson, Arizona, in the southwestern United States. If you get a chance, please look up Tucson Village Farm. Look up Tucson Village Farm. We work in accordance, we work in cooperation with the University of Arizona, their CALS program, as well as the agriculture program, 4-H and AmeriCare, I believe. Their program is absolutely amazing. And if you're in the Tucson area, hit me up, number one, but visit Tucson Village Farm. And even if you drive by there, just look at the community that goes on at that farm and it will warm your heart. It'll warm your heart like the Tucson sky in the middle of July. Actually, you don't want your heart that warm because it's frying. It's freaking crazy hot out here. But look up Tucson Village Farm. And if you have it in your heart, support. If you can't support, look up Tucson Village Farm and please just find some ideas there. We're always sharing ideas. Same thing with Together We Grow. You might not be able to buy one of our systems if they're not available. Obviously not. Hi, little B. How you doing, buddy? I love nature. But you can take these ideas and you can take these concepts and you can make them your own. So if you go to Lowe's, I'm not going to give you the whole spiel right now. We're just going to break down some of the basics that you'll need. If you go to Lowe's, I forgot what aisle it is, or Home Depot, you'll be able to find all of these pieces that I'm showing you right now. This is actually a rain gutter, and it is BPH free. It is food safe. It is water safe. Same thing with the top. Same thing with everything that I'm going to show you. These are the basic items used for a water capture system. But we are going to apply a little bit of physics, a little bit of science into it, and a little bit of know-how. So when you go to that aisle in Lowe's, you'll see these things next to each other. You'll see the gutter tops. You'll see the gutter cap ends. Yep. 2 or 3 aisles down, you'll see half-inch elbows as well as grommets. Half-inch elbows as well as grommets. In that very same row that you found this tunnel in, you will find these. These are the hangers or the hooks or whatever you want to call them. You'll notice they have the hole right here where the screw can go in, and it can easily be attached to any wall or hung with the shower hooks, with the metal shower hooks, pardon me, not shower hooks, with the metal coffee hangers. And yet someone had questioned before, they said, oh, those are just shower hooks. Shower hooks are expensive. What you want to do is you want to go on Amazon if possible, check with your community, grow together if possible, but go on Amazon and get those coffee hanging S-hooks. They're incredibly cheap. They're way more durable than shower hangers, and they won't snap on you. So, like I said before, a lot of folks, they're trying to figure out how I'm doing these things, but I'm going to save you money if you actually do it this way. I don't, not to say that you can't find a way to do it better. I know you can, but you'll save a lot more money if you do it this way, because we already tried and tested it for you. Another thing you're going to need a water pump. Guys, the only reason I have this one in my hand, because this is the only one that I had open in my shed. You don't need a 30 watt or whatever, it's 550 gallon per hour water pump, not for the 7-port system. No, your water pump should cost you about $12 or something like that. And as long as you maintain it and keep it clean out the filter on it, clean out the back end, it'll last you for years. So that's the other thing. These things do come with a little bit of investment in the beginning. So we said you're going to need that half-inch elbow. You're also going to need a half-inch straight pipe or half-inch straight connector. These things, if bought in your box store, they can be a little bit pricey. I always recommend, we're going to go to that C word again, community. Get together with your community if at all possible. You all put it in together, you all put money in together, and you just buy these things, because if you buy them in bulk, that's why I said it gets super cheap. Buy it in bulk, and then when you break it down by price by unit, you'll see how much money you're actually saving. So I always recommend all of these things that you see that I'm holding up, I bought in bulk. Even if it took me, okay, back in the days when I didn't have money, but when I didn't have money like that, I would say the straight connectors, I'd be like, okay, I'm going to buy a pack of 20 of those, but I can only afford that this week. So I'd buy a pack of 20 of those this week, and then I'd buy a pack of 20 of these next week, knowing that I'm going to build 20 systems out of these pieces, and I'm going to make my money back about 50-fold. That's the key. You make that initial investment. We're going to talk about this during the Uplit special. You make that initial investment, and then you see your returns in the system designs. Another thing you will need net cups. Buy in bulk. Once again, you can get them at the box store. If you have specialty hydroponic or aquaponic stores, you can basically buy these there as well. And you're going to need half-inch or 3/4-inch hose. Buy in bulk, buy in a roll. I've had this stuff right here. I've had this for about 4 or 5 years now. So that initial investment might hurt a little, but you break it down by unit, and that's how it becomes cost effective. And that's basically what it is with everything. It becomes cost effective when you buy in bulk. And a lot of times we can't buy in bulk. So that's why I say work with community. It's a lot easier if you do it with community. Once you get those basic pieces, we're not even going to go into system design right now, but I've given you all of the pieces. Oh, pardon me. There's one more thing you're going to need. You're going to need a bucket or some type of receptacle for your reservoir. And the easier couple of tips with your reservoir, the smaller the reservoir, the smaller the reservoir, just like a fish tank, the harder it is to maintain it. Like, I'm serious. My 550 gallon or 700 gallon aquaponics system that we had was much easier to take care of than a 10-gallon fish tank, because you don't have to clean it every day. In a 10-gallon fish tank, you're constantly cleaning that thing. So the bigger your reservoir, the easier it is to maintain. Same thing with heating and cooling your water. The bigger the body of water, the easier it is to maintain either a hot or a cold stasis. But also, the longer it takes to achieve that hot or cold stasis. But once they're there, it's easier to maintain. It's a lot harder to maintain a temperature in a 5-gallon bucket than it is in a 550-gallon system. Trust me, from experience. From experience. So, get these pieces. Come Thursday, I'm going to show you guys 101 how to build these systems. But you need those fundamental pieces right there. So, for you guys that are already tuned in, thank you for hanging out. You already got a leg up on those folks who are going to be tuning in for that live on Upflip. So get those pieces. Get those pieces. And with those pieces right there, I'm going to show you how to turn this into, pardon me, you're also going to need scissors, but I'm going to show you how to take this stuff and turn this into an indoor, outdoor hydroponics massive, not massive, but master machine. It produces like gangbusters. Unlike other systems where they try to maintain about a half an inch of water or nutrient solution going on the bottom of our system, when I show you guys with a little bit of physics and a little bit of science and a little bit of gravity, how it's only going to be about 1/8 of an inch of water going across the roots of those plants in the bottom of that system. That's called our Brooklyn Bridge tunnel system. Actually, that's called our HR21 tunnel system. It's named after my friend's daughter, Hazel Ray. It was designed in 2020. Wow. Yeah. Wow. That was a long time. Yeah. We designed that tunnel system in 2021. We finally got it down pat. Our Brooklyn Bridge system is an actual 21 port version of that. So when you guys go to Lowe's and you actually see this gutter, you'll be like, isn't that the Brooklyn Bridge system? But yeah, that Brooklyn Bridge system, when cut down, makes 3 of those 3-port systems. Or if you have the room, you can keep that tunnel all the way together, keep the rain drain, the gutter all together, just like the Brooklyn Bridge system. And if you have enough space to hang it from, or to elevate it, or to place it, you got 21 plants. You guys have seen my Brooklyn Bridge system. You guys can go through my videos and the pictures right here while I'm talking to you right now. That thing is amazing. That thing is amazing. So, I hope you guys are having a good time. I hope you're hanging out. I'm having a blast with you. What we're going to do now is we're actually going to go, if you guys are with me, we are going to go to the other side of the yard, and we are going to feed the hydroponics trace that we were just talking about. Let's check this out. Bam, there we go. Let's flip that camera around. Awesome sauceum. Oh, while we're over here, here is our solar shed, built and designed by yours truly, and and my amazing wife Rose. Yep, we built that. We designed it. Well, we didn't build the tough shed. Some manufacturers did that over at Home Depot. But the solar panels on top, we did all of that. It's southwest, southwest-ish facing, south facing, because we want to maximize the contact from the sun. So here we are, we're over on the tray system. Yes, we are. And I was asked before, what do you feed the plants in the tray system, Chuck? And I said, it's not magic. It's very simple. And I said, it's something called Master Blend. So let me go get that for you guys. I'm going in the shed real quick. Pardon me. I'll be right back. You tell the camera to stop following me. I realized it was still following me. You guys hear that? Oh man, I can't wait till we do the segment where I bring you guys into the workshop shed. That's actually because it's over 80 degrees outside. So it's actually obviously over 80 degrees in the shed. When it gets over 80 degrees in the shed, the air conditioner kicks in. And that's what you're listening, because I have a bunch of stuff in here that has to be air temperature controlled. So yeah, the air conditioner is solar powered as well. That initial investment with the solar panels and the batteries, especially that upgrade with the batteries, was a life changer. But that's another future video. Here we go. Let me set this here. I will be right back, my guys. I have to go get my knee protection. So yeah, dudes, like, what's the weather like where you guys are at? We are going to be in the upper 90s, above 95 by Wednesday, so I'm not too crazy about that. The cool thing is, hopefully that uplit video, we do it in the morning because, man, it's going to be hot. And it's going to be about an hour long, and it's going to be Q&A as well as talking, as well as instruction, showing you guys how to build some of these systems, how some basic business ideas and how to get started in your community, how to get started in your neighborhood. So either way, I hope we have a good time, guys. So we have Master Blend. No tricks, no nothing. I don't do any extra additives in it. No, nothing. I always recommend Master Blend because it's based, I think it's 3 parts. There's the micronutrient solution, all natural. There's potassium, I think, and magnesium, and then there's sodium. So Epsom salt, I think. Don't quote me on that, guys. I might be messing it up a little bit. But you can get it on Amazon. And once again, community, get it together with community. Take a little bit of sting out of that price. But once you get it, this stuff lasts, I don't want to say forever, but I probably buy food for my hydroponic gardens maybe twice a year. And with the big boxes, pardon me, before I go any further, in our larger reservoir, I think this is the 30 gallons, something like that. It's a quarter cup. So it's a quarter cup every 2 weeks, and it's a quarter cup of each one of 3 parts. I wouldn't recommend doing this. Some folks, and they'll even tell you on the bags, what you don't want to do is just take all 3 of them and just throw them in there all at once. Ideally, what I would do is I would have the mixing and the paint mixer on the end of my drill, and I'd put 1 part in like that. I put the drill in there for maybe 2-3 seconds. I mean, like maybe 10 seconds. Get it nice and mixed up in there. Even use a stick. Even use a stick to mix it up. But my system's running pretty efficiently, so I'm gonna cheat for you guys. Plus, I don't feel like going to get that. But the correct way to do it, yes, guys, and you hear me, I'd be remiss if I didn't tell you the correct way to do it. Put in 1 part at a time, because if you dump them all in at once, they cancel each other out, and they might even shock the roots of your plants. So put in 1 part at a time, wait a few minutes, or a few seconds, whatever, or stir it, and then put the next part in. That is the proper way to feed your plants. There is number 2. So I'm going to wait a few minutes. But while I'm over here, a nice little thing to have, if you can, when you do build up your systems and you can afford one, is a pH and a hard water monitor, so that you can basically get an idea of the hardiness of your water. Right now, our water is 2.9, which is pretty good. That's pretty clear. The temperature is 68, and our pH is 7.0. I'm not too crazy about that. I'd rather it be like 6.4, 6.5. I'm not too crazy about the 7, so I am going to put some pH down in there. I think, I don't want to lie to you guys, I think tomatoes like a pH of, is it 6.5 or is it 7? Might be 7.5. So it might be good for tomatoes. So folks will tell you when they garden, they say, well, you really don't have to pay attention to the pH and all that. The plants are going to do what the plants are going to do. I will be the first one to tell you, if you really want to be a stickler about it, and if you pay attention to your water hardiness and to your pH, your plants are going to love you for it. I'm paying attention to you guys. I'm sorry, but above me, and it's coming over my yard right now. It's over there to the left. Here it comes. It's coming over my head. There's the Cooper's hawk. Literally right above my head, right there, right now. Let me see something. Okay, yeah, of course you can't see him. I'm pointing to the sky like Usain Bolt. I'm such a dweeb. Oh my goodness. Hold on 1 second, guys. Well, I'm such a dork. Hold on 1 second. Let me see. Yeah, that's me being super dork and trying to think. Yeah, okay, Chuck, you have no skill set. Okay, way down there on top of that telephone pole, that's the Cooper's Hawk. Because I didn't want you guys thinking I was crazy. It's just like, man, this is crazy dude just seeing freaking invisible birds again. I'm not. I am not. I am not. I am not. I am not. I'm not. So I believe we have one more part that we have to put into. Yeah, we do. We have one more part that we have to put into the reservoir. Let me check for questions. Sorry about that, guys. I don't want to ignore you. Hey. Oh, man, how's it going, guys? I hope you're enjoying this so far. I am having an absolute blast. So far, every time we've done a live, we get a hawk encounter. Let me tell it to follow me. We get an awesome hawk encounter. Is he still up there? Yep, just sitting there. Just sitting up there on top of the telephone pole. How cool is that, man? I love it out here in the desert. I do. So let's get this last part of the food in there. A question I'm commonly asked, well, do you have to feed less or more as it gets hotter or as it gets cooler? That is a great question. No, you don't. You don't. You feed by the plant's growth. And that's what determines what you feed. So other than this, and there are all types of additives. So I got to tell you guys this. A company wouldn't be a company if they weren't trying to sell you something, right? Exactly. So when you see, and this is nothing against the hydroponic shops and the people who make the supplements and all of that stuff, I'm a firm believer in less is more. The KISS analogy, keep it simple, sir. Keep it simple, sister. However you want to see it. So other than pH down, that's the most I'm going to add into my system until it's summer, and then when the water gets super hot. But right over there, we have our outdoor ice maker, and that's what I actually use to keep the systems cool. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me actually put this bucket. Enjoy the view. There we go. There we go. For you folks that are just tuning in, I want to say thank you for hanging out with me. Come on, camera. You got me. There you go. Thanks for hanging out with me. My name is Chuck Collins. Welcome to Together We Grow Sustainable Gardening Solutions and Traditional Gardening Experience. Oh my God, I'm just changing the name up every time I mention it. You guys notice that? Welcome to Chuck's Together We Grow's Outer Space Experience. I'm your co-pilot, Chuck. I'm just kidding. So guys, don't forget, get the basic ingredients. When you get this, all right, it's not going to be this short. We cut ours short, so make sure that you have a vehicle that is capable of bringing, I believe this is like 9 feet long. So make sure you have a vehicle that's capable of bringing that home. Once you get that there, I'm telling you guys, over the years, we built up our workshop. So it can be a little intimidating, but we try to make it so that all of these systems, all you're going to do, you need these basic supplies and then some scissors and then some time. Once you start building these systems, you develop them, you start selling them, talk to your neighbors. And I'm telling you, talk to your neighbors. You start selling them, you can start investing into equipment. That's absolutely what we did at Together We Grow. We started small, and everything we made, we invested into our equipment. We invested into our equipment. I didn't start this yesterday. I didn't start this last year. I didn't start this 5 years ago. This is 12 or 13 years now we've been doing this. And when I say 13 years doing this, I mean 13 years doing this, blood, sweat, and tears. And I know folks use that term a lot, blood, sweat, and tears. No, I actually caught valley fever doing this at our old house from digging up the dirt in the soil. And that's an experience I don't wish on anyone. And for you folks that are like, oh, maybe he just thought he had it. Nope, certified. Certified doctors, hospital, whole nine. Knocked me out of work for almost 6 months. It was awful. But I went through the experience, and here I am doing this now. I do want to do one more thing before I let you guys go. You guys want to hang out for a little bit longer? Do you? Oh, cool. So what we're going to do is I want to take those old plants that we took yesterday, and I want to bring them to the other side of the yard. And I'm going to use some recyclable what the heck is it? Straw. I keep calling it straw. It's not straw. Recyclable twine. And I'm going to string these plants up because I want to get them as dry as possible before we chop them up and we put them into the composter. So waste not, want not. I can also show you guys before we bring that over there, the differences in the root systems. We went over this a little bit yesterday. So if you guys weren't here yesterday, you can see it today. Well, that hawk is still up there on that tree, and I know he's watching me. Like, I literally know he's watching me. So in traditional gardening, here's our root structure. You can see dirt on the edge of the roots. Nice, right? Still, you can still see the whiteness in the roots because these were very healthy roots. Hydroponic system, net cup, no rocks. Pardon me, no dirt, right? Nope, no dirt. But, let me see. If I can wiggle this net cup off, boom, just like that. What do we see in there? Clay balls. And the clay balls are what we use instead of dirt. And all the clay balls do is they provide some type of support so that the plant can shoot upwards. And they also absorb the nutrient solution so that the plant's roots don't have to seek and reach out further and further and further in order to find food. The nutrient solution is right there on the clay balls, especially if you have a system where you have a flood and drain system. This can actually be used as a flood and drain system to where every hour or every 30 minutes or so, the nutrient solution is flushed. Cooper's hawk just took off. The nutrient solution is flushed over the roots of the plants, and then it's drained from the other end back into the reservoir, but there's a little bit of it left on the bottom of the reservoir on the inside of this system. That's why we recommend using these tunnels, these reservoirs. See a little bit of science applied. You see how on the rain gutters, it's got that shape like this? That is perfect for where your plants sit on top inside of the net cup. This little bit right here is perfect. It's a perfect space for those roots to rest, relax, soak up that nutrient solution, and then follow the rest of the flow of that water as it returns back to the reservoir. I'm pretty sure we're going to have a hawk fly by. Like, I'm serious, because he's watching me and he's doing the circling. So let's get our scissors. Let's get our twine. Yeah, we're going to go with 2 Mizuna plants that are almost all the way dried out. I'm going to bring you guys over with me. I hope you're having as much fun as me. I know I'm having an absolute blast. This is all practice for the upcoming Upflip special. Also, if you guys haven't done so, you can find me on Facebook. I'm not that big on Instagram. I have no idea how to use TikTok, although I do have a presence on both of them. I'm not laughing at my ignorance. Trust me, I'm not. It's just that it's a lot to try to figure out all at once. It really is. Especially for an old guy like myself. Gosh darn it, all I want to do is garden and grow. To answer another question, no, I do not grow the sticky icky. I don't do that. I don't do that. Have I tried to? Yes. Was I successful with it? No. I am the worst at it. I cannot grow that to save my life, and I cannot grow spinach. Yes, the thing that is called weed, I cannot grow it. I cannot grow a simple thing that if you throw it in the ground, it will grow on its own. I have no luck growing it. That is my life. So I kind of want to keep this here. I like having them in this area here because I do consider plants part of the yard art. And art is expression. If you look around my yard, there's original art all over my yard and all over in my house. Tucson is an amazing place full of incredible artists. I'm going to get this guy up too. There you go. So along this wall, when monsoon season starts, we always end up with wild dill growing along this entire wall. And here's why. Because we always tie our plants. Guys said, what me? Hey guys, we always tie our plants right here. Wind drifts come through, pick up the seeds, scatter them along this way, scatter them all throughout the yard. We'll have wild dill here. We should be having some wild arugula here. When monsoon starts, we'll get a second season from these leafy, from the winter brassicas. It's the same thing with on the other side. Remember when I was telling you guys about the tunnel system? Pardon me. We're letting all of this go to seed, but this is the Brooklyn Bridge tunnel system right here. And this is a 21 port version of that system that I showed you how to get the basic ingredients for, and how I'm going to show you how to build next week. So when we do the 1 hour upflip special, like I said, obviously it's going to be from 1 hour, but it's not just going to be an hour of me talking. It's going to be Q&A. So with you amazing folks, what I've managed to do is get practice, and get comfortable to where I've been talking to you for almost an hour just now, and a little bit of Q&A, a little bit of questions and answering. When we do the upload special, I will have my earpiece in because we will be talking back and forth. But I want you guys to come out of this with as much information as possible. And the biggest thing that I want you to come out of it with is the knowledge that you can do this. You can absolutely do this. I've shown you, if you please go through the last live videos, I've shown you the basics on the structures of the living wall. Tomorrow, we're going to go over the basics on the structure of the tray system, the raised hydroponic tray system that we just grew. I showed you the basics and the basic materials that you would need to build a Brooklyn Bridge system. A little bit of ingenuity, a little bit of know-how. I know that you guys got it from here. So for the first person that signed on today, the first person that logged on, the first person that commented, please, if you haven't already done so, email me, inbox me, message me. We're going to get you one of those incredible Together We Grow cups out to you. And that goes for the most part for every time that we go online. I mean, I can't say every time, but it's just my way of saying thank you to you folks taking your time and hanging out with me on this gorgeous Sunday when I know there's so much better stuff that you could be doing. Give me one more second. I'm just going to put this in the shed. I'll let you guys, let's bring it over here. I'll let you guys enjoy the view. I am back. Pardon? I am back. Let's go over here to the other side of the yard. For the folks that have been contacting me in regards to consultations, pardon me, we will be starting consultations again in the next couple of weeks. But for now, especially going into to this next Thursday, our focus is going to be all about preparing for the Uplit 1 hour special, making sure that we get the right information out to you guys, making sure we don't waste your time. Like basically making sure that we don't waste your time. If you don't catch the Uplit special, and I mean, it's maybe if you don't get a chance to see it, watch those last few live videos. I've already given you the information that you need in order to go out there, start up a viable business using gardening as a resource, as a principle. Some tips and advice on how to build your brand. Some tips and advice on how to take from trash, things that would be trash, and turn them into treasure. Like we said, from those green onion scraps over there, we developed our Sonoran flavor bomb, our jalapeno salt, our onion salt, and our French onion salt. All organic, all homegrown, all locally sourced. These sell these seasoning packets, high-end seasoning packets, $15 a piece. And we can't keep them in stock, guys. We can't keep them in stock. We can't. When it comes to another bit of advice, folks, they said, well, what if I want to get started? Could I use lettuce? I reiterate, sure you can, but no one's going to pay top dollar for romaine, not to burst any bubbles, for romaine lettuce or for iceberg lettuce. Darn. But there are like 12 or 14 different varieties of lettuce, something like that. If you go to those high-end restaurants and you look at the salad, the leafy green salads on their menus, there's some type of leafies and some type of brassicas that you've never even heard of. You know why? Because they're charging a lot of money for them. But why don't you be the resource? Before I let you guys go, the United States just killed or whatever $1 billion contract it was for the USDA, where the government was subsidizing local farmers to sell produce to schools and to federal businesses. Now, a lot of folks, that does suck. It does. But what that does is it makes an opening for you, for the local farmer, the local producer, to set up and negotiate deals with these businesses that no longer have that resource. You become that resource. There's a need. There's a demand. You become the supply. There's a demand. You become the supply. Don't let anything hold you down. Don't let anything hold you back. I'm not saying it just to say it. Please, if you get a chance, go over this video again. Get those primary materials that we need for this system. If you think there's something I might have left out, message me, email me. I'll try to get back to you, but we're doing a lot of rehearsals and a lot of practicing, but still no excuse. I'll try to get back to you guys as soon as possible. And until then, my friends, let's check our time check. We did it. 1 hour, 10 seconds. Together we grow strong. Plant that first seed and together we grow, my friends. Peace and blessings.